Hello, everybody. Welcome to another appointment with Going Expat. This is Rossella, and today our guest is Juliana. Hi, Juliana.
Hi, Rossella.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Even if today it's rainy, but I'm okay.
Okay, well, it's raining in the Netherlands too. And where are you located?
I'm in Bucharest, Romania.
Okay, so that's the topic of today. How to move to Romania. So we are going to talk a little bit about the top tips as usual, giving suggestion and info about moving to Romania. Of course, as usual, what we're going to say is based on your experience, and our folks that are listening to us will find the links to the official websites in the description so they can see what they had to do for their specific needs and situation. But before diving on the topic of today, Juliana, tell us something about you.
Hi, everybody. I'm Juliana. I've been living here for 6 years now. I was supposed to stay here just a couple of years, but in the end, we liked it a lot. I'm here with my family. I came here following my husband who works for an international company, and I have 2 kids. I'm living in Bucharest, the capital of Romania, and I teach Italian, I write books, and I have also a podcast now.
Yes, what's the name of the podcast?
It's Sconfinate, it's in Italian, and it's
Yes.
about expat life stories.
Yes, indeed. And it's very nice. So to all the people that understand Italian, just check it out because there are some nice and interesting story about women who moved abroad around the world. So that's
Thank
very
you.
nice. And as you said, you wrote some books. What about
Yeah,
them?
I published a few books now in Italian, of course, and not yet translated. The one I love the most is about is about my second child who was born very premature, and it's a real story, and it was a small success in Italy, I would say.
Well, I'm gonna leave in the description also the link to your social media so people can also check it out and follow you and learn more about you and what you normally do and share. So let's go diving on the topic of today. So moving to Romania. How does it work? So let's say that I am moving to Romania tomorrow. What is the first thing that I had to do in order to be legally there?
Okay, the process of relocating, first of all, need you to get an appointment with the immigration office to get your certificate of registration. That is the most important documents you have here. They give you a code, a number, that is your identification number here in Romania. To get it, you have to have a job contract or the enrollment to a university if you are a student. These are the first things. The second thing, very important, is to have an health insurance. So you have to, with these two documents, you are almost done if you are a European citizen, of course.
Yeah, of course,
I'm
of
coming from
course.
Italy, so for us it was quite easy to
Yeah.
have it. And it takes a few weeks. You get the appointment normally quite fast, and after the appointment, you have your documents in a few weeks. It's not very, yeah.
Okay, so to make sure that I understood correctly, so the first thing that you have to do is getting an appointment to the immigration office, and they are gonna give you this ID, which I guess you can use for basically everything in Romania, is your identification number. And in order to have it, you need already to have a job or an enrollment in a school or
Or
university.
if you want to work here as independently, not for a
Mm-hmm.
company, you have any way to demonstrate that you have the skills or the ability to do this job.
Okay, and also financially that you can support yourself,
Of
I
course,
believe.
of
Okay.
course, you have to present your last year edit. So your previous year edit, and so to prove that you can afford to live here. Yeah.
Do you know what happened if, for example, you don't have a job yet, but you move to Romania for any other reason, and so you want to look for a job? You can have the ID, or you need to wait.
You can stay here for 90 days without the CNP. This is the name of the ID. You can stay here for 19 days.
Okay.
So in these 19 days, you should organize yourself. I'm not aware of what exactly what's happening if you are not a European Union citizen.
Yeah, of course, but then it's different because you need to have a visa, and normally to have a visa you need a sponsor.
This is a little bit more complicated, yeah.
And things are also more connected to having a job already before moving, I believe. But again, we are gonna leave the links in the description, so also people that are not coming from Europe can have a look and see how exactly it works for them.
Of course. I have a lot of friends extra European Union who are working here. So
okay. That's okay. So that is the first step. And as you said, so going already to the next topic, and my question is the health insurance. So once you register, then with this ID, you also have access to the health system, I believe.
Yeah, of course, you have to go to, there is a free family doctor, you can go, and you can register also to the family doctor with your ID. And but we have to say that here in Romania, the public healthcare system is not very good.
Okay.
And you have a doctor. It's useful if you need a certificate or something, for example, for your job and so on. But in general, it's for serious issues, you'd better go to a private doctor.
Okay.
And the private system is really very good. It's there are a lot of doctors, a lot of private hospitals, amazing, like buildings, really wow. And of course, it's expensive, not as expensive as a private doctor, for example, in Italy.
Okay.
But for example, a consultation with a doctor could cost around 300 lei. That is the currency. That is about 60 euros.
Okay, so it's not that expensive compared
not that expensive
to other countries, indeed. And so the private health system works like in Italy, for example, that you just go on demand and you pay on demand. You don't have an health insurance that you pay.
You can, if you want. There are a few different, I would say, brands.
Okay, like health agencies.
Yeah. Okay. You can have a sort of subscription to have, for a specific group of hospitals and doctors. But for example, me, I go wherever, and it's not.
You pay for the service that you are getting.
Like this.
Yeah, well, if you don't have like a specific issue or needs to go to the doctor all the time, so if it's just once in a while, I guess it makes more sense. But maybe if somebody has a disease, an illness, and that has to be treated many times during the year, it might make sense to have then
he
a
can
subscription.
choose, for example, here one of the most for the most famous hospital is Regina Maria. And
Mm-hmm.
in Regina Maria, there are a lot of hospitals and clinics and doctors and so on, and you can have a subscription
A
to
subscription
Regina
there.
Maria.
Yeah, okay, okay,
Yeah.
interesting. Okay, so we also talk about how much the health system privately could cost. The first idea we had is like, oh, it's not that expensive, at least compared to the country where we're from, and in my case, also the country where I live. What is, generally speaking, the cost of living? And to give an example to our audience, what will be the cost of one bedroom apartment in Bucharest, which I believe is the most expensive
Yeah, the
city?
most expensive, of course. Yeah. First of all, I want to tell you that the currency, not euro, even if
Mm-hmm.
Romania is an EU country,
Mm-hmm.
but is leu. 10 lei are 2 euros, more or
10
less.
are, okay, 10
Yeah.
lays are 2 euros.
So
Okay.
just to have an idea. Anyway, speaking in euros, a one-bedroom apartment in Bucharest,
Mm-hmm.
the average of the rent can be 500 euros.
Okay.
Yeah. Of
Good.
course, there are huge difference between Bucharest, other cities, and the countryside,
Yeah.
and a lot of difference between the areas of Bucharest. There are
Mm.
very residential areas that are very, very expensive, and there
Mm.
are more popular areas
Of
like everywhere.
Like
Uh,
everywhere. So yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
In last year, prices increased a lot. Anyway,
Yeah.
yeah, a lot
Mm.
also here. And for example, groceries.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it depends where you go. For example, here there are a lot of local markets
Mm-hmm.
that are amazing. I mean, there is the central market that is Obor.
Mm-hmm.
That is, I think, one of the best place in Bucharest. I love it because it's huge and you can find fruits, vegetables, really high quality, not spending a lot. Really, in
Okay.
comparison, I'm from Milano, and so there is no
Mm-hmm.
comparison. Really,
Yeah.
this is really nice, really,
Yeah,
really
okay.
nice. And yeah, of course, outside Bucharest, life is really, really cheaper. Yeah, in
Well,
comparison.
it makes sense, right? It's the capital. I guess it's also a little bit touristic as well. So of course the price go a little bit up. What about salaries? So are the salaries in proportion with the cost of life or not?
Yeah, they are in proportion. My husband is an HR manager, so
Mm-hmm.
I know that salaries are increasing every
Oh,
day. So
okay.
this
Oh,
is,
that's good. That's a
yeah,
good
it's
news.
good.
Yeah.
It's an issue for the company because it's very difficult to keep your yeah, your
The
employees.
employees.
Yeah, it's very
Okay.
difficult because I hear the market is really moving fast.
Mm-hmm.
And so
Yeah.
it's not so difficult to find a job. It's not so difficult to change your job. And
Mm-hmm.
so, yeah,
The
it's,
turnover is high, so you need to
yeah,
be very competitive
yeah,
in
very
the market.
competitive to offer
Okay.
always more and more. So
Yeah.
it's changing really fast.
So
Yeah,
in that sense, it's a good place for expats, but
it's a
also for
good place.
Romanian, I will say, because they
Yeah,
also
yeah,
had the opportunity, of course, to move and change job and ask
yeah.
for
Now
more.
a lot of Romanian are coming back. You
Mm,
know that a lot of Romanian were abroad. Now they are coming
yeah.
back. The country is going fast, and there are a
Okay.
lot of opportunities really to do a lot. You can do a lot here.
Okay, now
Yeah,
that's very interesting. It is a good news, right? Because Romania maybe wasn't famous to be this country of opportunities, and knowing that instead the things are changing, so also Romanian are coming back because they can find more opportunities in their country, and it is open to international people, is
yeah.
actually a very good thing. So
Yeah, there are
I'm
a lot
very
of
happy to hear
expats,
that.
really a lot of expats.
That's
Italian,
good.
Turkish, but from everywhere.
From
French.
everywhere.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, a
yeah.
lot, a lot.
What about languages then? It is possible to just live with English, or at a certain point you need to learn Romanian?
I would say it's really, really possible to live without speaking Romanian because the level in Bucharest, of course, in
Of
Bucharest
course.
or in big cities, I don't know, in the countryside probably is different. Overall level of language proficiency among Romanians is very high.
Okay.
Yeah, it's very high. No comparison with Italy. The level of English is very high. Everybody speaks English. A
Okay.
lot of Romanians speaks Italian, speak
Yeah.
Italian or French, and both because they had no dubbed television, and also
Ah,
because
yes.
most of them were abroad for a period, so you can live here without speaking Romanian. For Italians, French, Spanish, it's a Romance language, so it's not so difficult for the everyday life. Of course, if
Okay.
you want to speak a very good Romanian, its grammar is difficult and
Of course. Do you
writing
speak
is
a little
more
bit of
difficult.
Romanian?
Yeah, I speak it. Yeah, I've been living here for 6 years, and you know, I like to learn the languages of the country I'm in because I think it's nice to get a connection, a deeper connection with the place, with people, and so on. So I speak
Yeah.
Romanian, not perfectly, but I speak.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is music for my ears, because I really think it's super important to learn the local language, at least a little bit, to be able to have basic communication. It's not only a sign of respect for the people that are from there, but it's also for you to integrate it better, to understand what's going on without having to translate all the time. Understand the culture, understand why things are
Yeah.
the way they are. And in your case, I believe also with the kids, with school or with their friends.
Even if they're going to a British school, but they have a lot of Romanian friends, and I don't want neither them, neither I to live in the expat bubble, you know. Of
Yes,
course, we have a lot of expat friends, but
which is
we have also
fine.
a
Yeah.
lot of Romanian friends, and we are really very well integrated, I think.
That's
Yeah.
nice. Now that's really nice to hear. Okay, my God, we already covered basically all the top tips that I normally cover in this kind of interviews. It sounds like life in Romanian, like to organize your life in Romania is not that difficult then. Um, what you want to add? Is there anything that you want to add to
Yeah, I
this
would like
video?
to add three things, but I will be
Yes,
very, very fast. First of
go
all,
go ahead.
transportation. In
Mm,
Bucharest, the public transportation is working very well. The subway is amazing. It's free for students, completely
mm.
free, and for me, it's just 0.60 euros one ticket. So in
Wow.
comparison with Milano, is really cheap.
I mean, I
This,
guess in comparison to any other country in Europe, it's extremely
yeah,
cheap.
yeah.
Wow, 60 cents. Amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah.
The problem here, just to point out something a little bit negative, is that
Hmm.
traveling in Romania, if you want to go outside Bucharest, it's not that easy because
Hmm.
trains, railways are not going everywhere, and there are a few highways. And
Okay.
so
Mm.
it's really very, very crowded. So if you want to go, I don't know, to Transylvania, and you have to spend a lot of time in your car
Mm.
because it's
Okay.
very, very crowded. Bucharest is very crowded. I'm living here without a car because
Yeah.
it's impossible to drive here. It's really
Okay.
challenging.
Okay.
But
And what?
I would like to say other two things. In
Yes.
Bucharest, there are a lot of parks. That is amazing. You can't imagine the parks in Bucharest are something really nice, super nice.
That's
They
nice.
are very
Having green and having the nature
a lot
around
of
you, even
green,
living
you
in a city,
know.
is
Of
very
course, there
important.
are also the streets, the communist in the communist side
Of
style,
course.
and so on. But there are a lot of parks, very, very well managed with flowers and so on, fountains. It's amazing. This
Okay,
is
that's
one of the
nice.
things I like the most. And finally, despite the prejudice,
Mm-hmm.
Bucharest is really a safe city. is one of the safest capitals of Europe. You can go in the subway in the evening alone like a woman, and it's really very, very safe. You know, this I want to point out this because everybody is asking me, oh, you are going in Bucharest with the subway? Yes, of course. There's no issues.
There is no, yeah, no, that's very important because indeed, I don't know, there were, and maybe there are still some prejudice about Romania for safety reason, indeed. But yeah, sometimes prejudice are based on just a few experience or a few people or something that happened in the past, but it's not like that anymore. So it's very, very important to underline this aspect and say that Bucharest is a safe city. So if you're traveling there, if you're moving there, even if you are a woman alone, you can be safe. It's
yeah,
fine.
of course, for sure.
That's very important. Thank you. Okay, Juliana. So these are the most important things that are needed to know about moving and living in Romania, specifically in Bucharest. Once again, I'm gonna leave the links in the description of the video about immigration, of course, as well as your social media link, so people can reach it out. And let's talk more about the podcast, the books, etc. Thank you so much for